You have two options. Either you go for medical or you go for engineering. How do you address that? Is it still, or the dynamics has changed?
Like when we advertise for PhDs from NIMHANS, it is for biotechnology to life sciences too. We don't believe any stream you come, it would be useful for when we are now picking you and selecting you and training you. And they're coming to get trained. Why should I be expecting them to know everything at come? Understand whether you have the temperament. So the temperament, the tenacity, the commitment, as you said, because you are searching a unknown and you don't know whether that hypothesis will work, and you cannot be strict or predictable that hypothesis has to work, then you're not a researcher. True. What I feel that it is not possible to change suddenly is the discipline. Self-discipline needed in PhD. It's not that, there will be your stipend will be cuffed or you will be reprimanded. No, that doesn't work once you start up. If you're not in a good state of mind, you can't do research.
So if you get two students, right, one is very smart and intelligent with good numbers, you get another student who is average.
We will be thinking a working mind, a thinking mind. Marks doesn't matter. So we will be asking something where you have to forget about everything else, what you'll be taught as a parent. No, you just remember what your fundamentals are. So it's not always a memory-based person is a good researcher. It's many times the other way around. So for us, intelligence is not marks. Marks is just you are qualified as per the guidelines of the institute to go ahead to appear for the exam or, appear for your fellowship exam. As simple as that. I want telling students, don't fret and be scared about what marks you got. You know what your cutoff is, you've got that. You're able to give your fellowship exams, scoring and getting your fellowship. That's good enough. Now, if you research bet, we will know that you're research bet. Over here too, the students gets, anytime they want, they can get a counselor, and they do take help whenever needed. So they're very open about it. Students at least can reach out immediately when they need to get a counselor, and they are the best in the country or in the world even. So in that way, we are very much benefited. And I would promote this. We go on saying wherever we can, we promote this, that better to sort it out. The government of India is now focusing heavily into cell and gene therapy. Cell biology is for any stream. You can come from genetics, you can come from virology, you can come from biophysics. The bio and biophysics is we have to work with cells. Family, most of them are in medical doctors, and even from engineering and MBA. I see them working hard. I don't understand why we go on over here trying to put that certificate. Oh, that is a very hard-working lab, and this is a lesser pressure lab. At that age, work hard. Your neurons are still not undergoing apoptosis. They are there. But in a serious note, I would like to say to students who are, we have in Indian society, it's very much fixed that either we have to go to medical or to engineering. And with this merging more, students will be understanding that there's a need for both of it,
Right.
and equally both. So, it's importance of basic science for them will become the clarity will come out better. And again, here I want to mention and highlight that India and government of India is now focusing heavily into cell and gene therapy. Just like in international, throughout worldwide, there has been a big shift in the therapeutic strategy or even with respect to drug targets and drug delivery and for clinical trials for predictive population. The utilization of iPSC based work or cell based work, and of course, stem cell is at the end of the day a cell type. It comes under cell biology. So, and cell biology is for any stream. You can come from genetics, you can come from virology, you can come from biophysics. The bio in biophysics is we have to work with cells or a biological system, be it in vivo and in vitro. So it is the connecting center for every stream. So with the focus in disease perspective, be it from industry and be it from the clinic, being on cell and gene therapy, each stream will have their significance now more, and especially the basic researchers. So, as I said, there are numerous opportunities which are going to open up in for industry. So we are not into banking, but we work with that as a model. So a student who is trained in being generating to maintenance and going and establishing the cell type of interest for disease pathology, they're well versed to even get into an industry who are working with iPSCs. So if they want to choose their career as, in industry. So there is immense amount of openings which would be there for this stream, for basic researchers working with um, be it IBSCS model, or be it even the techniques which we use, biophysical techniques we use. These are important because that's where we are trying to show that you can definitively and quantitatively cite a pathology. So demarcating between, say, a two variants, or demarcating between, a pathogenesis, or whatever the therapeutic intervention. So it's not that there is no career for basic researchers. I would say that there will be more and a wider career for basic researchers.
Ma'am, as you said, basic researchers,
I would say take everyone from
everything.
biochemistry, genetics. Yeah, I gave example of biophysics and cellular biophysics particular. Um, so yes, there would be.
Okay, and to pursue this, they should have a prior, like, a background is required. So like we all, as you said rightly, the we usually, our parents also had, either you have two options, either you go for medical or you go for engineering. There's no third option. But nowadays you have lot of options, and that's okay, that's fine. Confusion is also more. But again, when you're talking of general sciences, it's a common norm. In like, I see my juniors and all, they come up with question, oh, should I have an analytical mind, then only should I survive or pursue that in future, should I have that patience, or they have a lot of questions. Their perception is like, this stream is too tasking, that will actually challenge me every day. I need to have be self motivated and keep going, pushing, and it's also a longest path also. So how do you address that? Is it still, or the dynamics
Yeah.
have changed?
Temperament is definitely needed, and they can come from any stream. Like when we advertise for PhDs from NIMHANS, it is for biotechnology to life sciences too. We don't believe any stream you come, it would be useful for when we are now picking you and selecting you and training you. And they're coming to get trained. Why should I be expecting them to know everything and come? No, I don't. Okay, at least in our department, we don't. So, because it's our responsibility to train them. And thing which we want to know, or I preferably tell them to, before starting out PhD, to join in my project as a researcher, GRF. So you get a researcher, a stipend or a salary, so you can understand whether you have the temperament. So the temperament, the tenacity, the commitment, as you said, we because you are searching a unknown.
Yeah.
And you don't know whether that hypothesis will work, and you cannot be strict or predictable that that hypothesis has to work, and
True.
you're not a researcher.
True.
You have to accept, go on, accept, go on. That's the search of truth. Science is nothing else. So to have that maturity, and you gain wisdom with time. It's not, we all were impulsive. We all were at that age rushing to go ahead. When can we get a degree and get uh, go for a job? But present day stipend and all are quite decent. So I won't say that you are missing out much on monetarily, but yes, temperament wise, the devotion, the commitment, um, You have to be organized, you have to be disciplined. Discipline is a must, which is what I observe before stating to a person, to any student or a JRF, that yes, you can go ahead for PhD. Self discipline is extremely important. You will be driven. You'll become driven the moment you get interest in your topic.
Yeah, that's the sales.
So I don't always blame students that, oh, they are not driven. Sometimes I think it's our responsibility to make the topic, to make them driven, or to chase it. So that I would take the onus on the guide. So it is my responsibility to make the person to be consumed in it and be driven with it. Because in research you cannot do by giving instructions that you have to do this and that. They have to breathe it, and they have to be in resonance with you. And that's what I observe usually during the JRF period or in a student. It is what I feel that it is not possible to change suddenly, is the discipline.
Yeah. Okay.
So, all the discipline, what we learned during our school time, or, I go on saying that whatever we learned in school, we deliver it during our PhD. It's so
Yeah.
important having, and I come from a convent school. So, for us, discipline was everything. Like, uh, so it definitely, it paid off for me. Second thing is in school, because again, I'm from a convent education, so we were taught comprehension, English comprehension hugely. Again, this comprehension is extremely important when you are be reading
Papers.
understanding not what they're saying, then taking multiple of them,
Yeah.
comprehending it,
True.
so that you give your understanding. What did you understand from there by taking it all together? So these are very important things, but all of this grows while you are in your PhD. All of this grows with your peer, with having interaction, because we always have these journal clubs, presentations, and we have numerous of the interaction tests. I mean, there are options for it. So that ensures that you will learn and you will grow in that. But what I have found through my experience, what you can't change much is discipline.
Mm.
If you are disciplined, it's discipline. There is a self discipline needed in PhD. It's not that, oh, there will be your stipend will be cut, or
Yeah.
you will be reprimanded. No, that doesn't work. Once you start if you're not in a good state of mind, you can't do research.
Yeah.
Just been if you have been always scared that someone is going to complain or do something, that doesn't work for research. You have to be bold, brutally honest with your research, and you should be able to communicate and have that rapport with your guide, that you are able to say honestly. So for that, if a reprimanding comes in between, then it really makes it it's not a good thing. So there I would say, so that's where I'm seeing a self discipline.
Okay.
I can say the importance. I can tell that, okay, if you don't follow this, this is what you will end up with. And you waste, you have a stipulated time where your stipend is. So I usually don't try to keep them beyond their stipendary time. So you have to go on reminding that. So that is what you can keep. If you're self disciplined,
Correct. Correct.
you will definitely.
You'll not land up in that situation
Yeah.
primarily.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's peaceful for coexistence with your lab mates, because you have to work in sharing basis.
True. Yeah.
And we have huge crunch of space, so they work in shifts. So there are many things which comes. So if you're not disciplined and your thing spills over,
Yeah.
it's going to hamper others. So it's not only an interaction with the guide. And again, as I say, if you don't do it yourself, being driven yourself that I would follow this, it becomes a chore. It becomes, as if I'm doing a 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
And then you will not enjoy research. And if you don't enjoy, I can't expect.
Yeah, good results, or in fact,
Or
it will
you
hamper.
have to breathe in that.
Yeah, true.
Yes. So I
Ma'am,
would
then
say
if you get
discipline is
two,
the main thing.
yeah, so if you get two students, right, one is very smart and intelligent with good numbers, and you feel like, okay, this person can crack things. Just I'm just giving an option, maybe hypothetical,
Yeah.
and you get another student who is average, right, but he is disciplined. If you ask, okay, these are the set of
Average
things
with respect to marks?
with respect to marks, with respect to all is like it's like any.
No. We have our questionnaire to understand whether.
Okay, you have a, okay, right, okay.
So we will be thinking a working mind, a thinking mind. Marks doesn't matter. As our mentors
So it's a
say,
analytical mind, or it's just
as I
the
said again, comprehension work.
comprehensive works. Yeah,
So we will be asking something where you have to forget about everything else, what you've been taught as a parrot. No, you have to just remember what your fundamentals are. So it's not always at speaking. I know that because we have gone through that phase. It's not always that the researchers they always score the highest. No, there are two different intelligence for it. So because our examination system is very memory based and
yeah,
yeah, so it's not always a memory based person is a good researcher. It's many a times the other way around. So we give hypothetical questions. We will be evaluating. So for us, intelligence is not marks. Marks is just you are qualified as per the guidelines of the
yeah, true.
institute to go ahead to appear for the exam or appear for your fellowship exam. As simple as that. I go on telling students don't fret and be scared about what marks you got. You know what your cutoff is, you got that. You're able to give your fellowship exams, getting scoring and getting your fellowship. That's good enough. Now, if you're research bent, we will know that you're research bent. That's a different way. There, you don't jump into to give an answer because uh, that's what you're memorized and given.
Correct, correct.
We will be understanding whether you're utilizing your whatever you've studied to come to that answer. So there is no ready-made answer.
Correct. Right,
Yes.
right. It's well said, and yeah, I am really happy that this type of screening mechanisms are there.
Yeah.
Mostly everywhere it is based on marks
Yeah.
cutoff, and then you directly walk in, and it's sad to see when students as well as their PIs
Yeah.
they don't go along after 6 months, and then they said, okay, no, I have made a wrong decision. The student keeps frustrated. Oh, my fellowship has started, and that ends up in a very bad situation. And then this fellow keeps trying to, okay, I have to complete.
Yeah. This mental health issue is being highlighted and being NIMHANS is in the forefront. And you know that our director ma'am went to Geneva and we were uh, awarded. So she went to collect for the institute on behalf of the institute for uh, whatever measures or what has been established here in India by NIMHANS in the field of mental health. So here we definitely are flag bearers, be it we not being working directly as psychiatrist or psychologist, but we are aware about it and we definitely take that as our primary thing to be clear between interaction with our students. So to understand that whether we are compatible, see, labeling that he is good or bad, that's so dated. I might be good with respect to someone, might be liked or disliked by someone. It's personal scale. So this it's a compatibility, which I think there's nothing that I want to label uh, whom I'm not compatible with. It's just that doesn't match with my personality or the work being assigned. So having that uh, being brutally honest about it, that I accept and move on rather than committing for another 5 years, making life hell for everyone,
Yeah.
is what I try to convey from very beginning. And I also try. It's not that always it works the best, but touch wood, it has worked for me. I try to understand the compatibility, and I've tried to find out what is essential for the lab to function.
Yeah.
Because as I said, we have huge crunch of space, we have huge crunch of even funding coming on time. It's not that the fund is a crunch, but funding arriving on time. So if we are not disciplined in our use, it's going to affect my fellow mates. So I cannot put other people's time and life in jeopardy just because,
One person
one
is
person
not doing
is
the
not.
following the protocol. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what I make it loud and clear. And if that's not compatible for, you're not accepting to that, you're most welcome. Whatever you've learned, you've learned. We don't stop. Then you don't have to join. And over here too, the students gets, um, anytime they want, they can get a counselor, and they do take help whenever needed. So they're very open about it.
Yeah.
Yes, because we also speak openly about it. So it's not that we speak that we are not undergoing stress or we don't have
True. No.
our own breakdowns or our own insecurities. We do speak about it openly, and we so in NIMHANS culture, I would say that um, there is this disparity is lesser, and students at least can reach out immediately when they need to get a counselor, and they're the best in the country or in the world even. So in that way, we are very much benefited, and I would promote this. We go on saying wherever we can, we promote this, that better to go to and sort it out,
Mm. Mm.
when needed. It helps. It even helps to straighten your mind.
Yeah.
And your stress would be going down, and you will be much more open for your.
Yeah, not only open but also fruitful in terms of work, in terms of no productivity. It will be much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a very important point. An important point, I would say, for a student, even to me, very understanding that it's not good, bad, this, that, not labels. Not only a topic, but more than the topic, are you compatible? If you're not compatible, it is no harm in saying no, I won't be continuing. It's you being actually uh, matured and wise. It's better to identify early on and move on. So and that can happen. That happens even in among our family or any interactions and all. So I think better in a professional setting when there is an element of your stipend uh, with a timeline. It's very, it shouldn't be in that way. You should be matured and wise enough to understand that, because without compatibility, without mental peace, be it how much good the topic is, it's not worth it. And you won't make it worth it
Yes. Yeah.
if you are going through
Yeah.
mess. It's not, uh, it's
It's
not advisable.
it's not. Anyhow, what I feel is like you will complete the tenure maybe by some means,
Yeah.
but it will not be when you look back, you will
Yeah.
not feel great about it.
And PhD is not about getting just a degree to run off to somewhere else. It is each one of your unique once you've done your PhD. That's what you've learned.
True.
And that learning and gathering of your comprehending your work, and uh, so that itself is unique. For it's not just a degree. So just saying that, oh, I just being there and got a degree, no, your next career is going to be dependent on what you did during that time. So that's so important, that uh, to understand that it's not a mere degree. Your next step, your next career is dependent on that. And that's the age, I would say that why do you have to shy away from hard work, or you're going behind or chasing it? If you don't love it, don't get into it. And these things needs hard work, as I said, because um, to prove an evidence, when we are telling a scientific, even if one sentence deliverable, we have to have evidence. And that evidence cannot be from one model. Evidence as simple as an expression cannot be just from a Western blot. And whether functionally relevant. So that many experiments, and to have, you practiced hand to deliver that quality, you need certain number of months and years.
True.
So there you are definitely doing your standardization. You will be very upset, or you might get bored. But if you're not driven about it, or you're not disciplined about it, then this is not the line which you should take. And why should you shy away? I think I know my family, most of them are in medical doctors,
Hmm.
and even from engineering and MBA. I see them working hard. I don't understand why we go on over here trying to put that certificate. Oh, that is a very hard working lab, and this is a lesser pressure lab. At that age, work hard. Your neurons are still not undergoing apoptosis. They are there. And that's where you don't have a commitment, that you don't have a family to cater to. You are taken care by your parents, or, your elder sibling, or you are not you're not the breadwinner most of the time. I'm not saying about the others, but most, that's the time you have to be working hard and making your PhD really speak out. So that when you're going for the next stage, you have a huge amount of thing to present, and uh, be in a better bargaining slot for your next step. So I really don't believe in the other side, any other profession is lesser
Yeah.
hard work. So I don't get this point. In other places, other profession, I know there is equal hard work. So without hard work, there isn't. It's tough. We are too many people, and we have lesser jobs in with respect to jobs. If you see. So yes, to keep yourself worthy enough, we have to do forget even worthy enough for the science. Right. So for any profession, it's very applicable. Hard work.
Yeah, I think you've put it in a very, very nice way, that we have some prejudices about this profession, that it will test your patience, you would need to hard work. But no other job is relaxing. It's always, the grass is always greener on the other side. That's true. But if you go the other side, you find it's equally the same. Yeah, and that's true for, I totally, agree with what you said. But this mindset also needs to be changed. I believe whoever will be listening this might be coming with a new idea.
I rather say over here you get a decent pay even to do something new. It's for many service sector where there is immense hard work. You're doing the repeat thing every day in and out, and that too you have to meet the perfection. Otherwise, no, you are not worthy for it, right? So here, I think we have the opportunity to rather do many new things based on one set of experimental data. We then design the next. It's not that we predict we are going to do that.
True.
So there are so many elements which actually is very stimulatory, and it cannot be boring. So I don't know why this perception has grown. That's what the friction takes over more than your the chase or the hunt for the research question.
And in this side, see, I came to PhD because most of my seniors were into PhD. So when I started staying with them, they said, "No, no, good. You have done your masters. What next?" I said, "What next?" I think no text, get into PhD, get any of your maybe CSIR, ICMR, whatever fellowships you get it, apply for it. Left, right, center, don't wait and get into labs. So it was more like, okay, get into lab was the target. But what you rightly said, no, this thing should also be taught at that level. Ki, okay, fine, I get my fellowship and once I enter, then an entirely new area or new things, experiences begins.
Yeah.
I should be prepared for that as well. And the better I'm prepared for that, I think I can enjoy that journey much more, learn and grow as an individual and and be a valuable contributor to that lab as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So this is something again. Thank you. It's coming from you means a lot,
Thank
and I totally appreciate this entire fact, because we should be talking more about this small things which nobody is addressing right now. And it's like, my senior and his senior was into this profession, so I'm also following that same path without knowing whether how I'm going to maneuver or steer through that path. I should be well prepared. And what I believe is these days kids are smart.
Yeah.
They are.
Sorry, during our thing, all the more why it happened, because
Uh-huh.
there were no science days and science exhibitions. Not
Oh
much.
yes.
Now,
Uh,
because of this science day, science exhibitions, and numerous of them throughout the year happening and getting held, that's why I wanted to add in, sorry, that you actually have an opportunity not only to that, okay, I have to pursue PhD, but you can also get an exposure that what kind of science goes on,
right.
where I want to see. Take your time to understand that, visit that, and visit in multiple institutes where it's held. So you actually know whether you, at least partially, you will know that, okay, I'm excited for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not going just because, I have to do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that
Right.
way, I think nowadays kids shouldn't do much.
Correct. They are getting that pre-exposure
Yeah.
much more. Yeah, right. Even I go to a lot of central facilities and I tell that, for our time getting one confocal system
Yeah.
access was a big thing. And for multiple, like if I have 2 or 3 system requirement, I need to see in my near vicinity which institute,
Yeah.
permissions and all those, I had to do it. You people are lucky, under one roof you get so many different systems and your one paper work can be done sitting here.
Yeah.
So that is another thing which improved infrastructure, improved instrumentation. Now the central facilities in majority of institutes have come really well. You also have a wonderful facility here.
Yeah.
And I think that is also helping students to be getting more data and
Yeah.
coming up with better publications.
Yeah.
That.
And the place itself, Bangalore, because we have a CCAM, we have ISCS. So whatever facilities we don't have, we utilize a lot from CCAM and from ISC. So like atomic force microscopy, we go over to the ISC central facility.
Okay.
For any of the omics work, we go either to CCAMP or ISC. So being in the same city and having this
Yeah.
facilities, it's I definitely applaud this with respect to the government's vision and ensuring that these come up and it is more approachable by even outside institutes.
Yeah.
It's been definitely beneficial for the students. Then you can aim high, do better, and it again stimulates your interacting with other institute students or application scientists. So that even is a need for at that student level, it helps. So
Yeah. Yeah.
the opportunities in India, we have everything of international
We-
great. So stating that no, I'm not excited or there isn't opportunity, no, it's wrong. It's only that you have a friction, you have a compatibility issue, only that. Be wise to identify. You don't have to be compatible with everyone.
True.
It's we are being built to be diverse.
True.
So accept, go ahead. There are numerous labs who are doing very good in India and there are plenty of facilities. So you will always get
True. True.
a good opportunity.
Very well said, ma'am. I know this. No, we can talk about this at a
Yeah.
length, and then I'm feeling so much. I'm coming to know and getting inspired so much when you're talking in this segment. But yes, I totally, the entire effort of me talking about and then coming out from you all these points is, if anyone sees this, they are in a dilemma. Okay, I need to do this or that. I think they will have a very clarity, very much clear sight, and yeah, I know so, because when I can correlate totally, when I was a student and I was having all these options and not very clear what to take, what not to take. So there was nobody. It's all because how our seniors went, we followed the treaded the same path which they went, and that was our only go-to options. With internet and all things have done, there are a lot of informations. Like if you say for Parkinson, I was doing some background check, and in YouTube, there are a lot of videos. So I felt like, oh, I know quite a lot. But the moment you talk to people like you, who are an expert in this field, how little we know, or what correctness of the information do I know, that is more important. So nowadays for kids, I am not saying that they're not aware, they're smart, they have lot many informations, way more than what we used to have. But again, the thing is like confusion. When you have too many things on the plate, it's always a confusion. So what you said is right. They should do this pre-assessment and compatibility check, what they are actually built of, the metal inside, and where they should be going ahead. It may be right, it may be wrong to other people, but for themselves, it should be right.
Correct.
Right?
A peaceful coexistence.
Absolutely, absolutely. So with that note, ma'am, thank you for your wonderful conversation. I had wonderful time we had, and bringing out all these points. I am very certain that anybody listening to this will definitely have a very fresh perspective, and people who are young, they will definitely have a better clarity on to taking the next steps.
Yeah.
So with that note, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for this whole episode. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.